When it comes to real estate investing, how you finance a deal can make a huge difference in your returns. Today, I will compare three slightly different leverage scenarios, each with a different down payment and a small difference in the cost. I'll break down these costs and the return on investment in each case so that you can see how leverage impacts your bottom line. It's a fact that some investors will hesitate to take on higher leverage because of the extra cost. But does that really matter in the big picture? By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how leverage affects profitability and scalability, and whether paying just a little bit more in financing costs could actually work in your favor to go faster on your real estate investment. So let's dive in. We have the same scenario for each of the three loan scenarios. We have a purchase price of $150,000 and a rehab of $50,000 on this short-term project. The ARV after rehab is estimated to be $280,000. So this is going to be a nice project, profitable enough for most people to be interested in it. The three loan scenarios are very similar, except for the purchase financing will vary between 80% to 100%. So in the first case, you have a 20% down payment, second case, 10% down payment, and in the third case, a 0% down payment, which is possible with some financing programs out there. This is, of course, going to change the down payment from $30,000 in the 80% financing case to zero in the 100% case. The loan size will be impacted accordingly on the $200,000 of cost. You can see how that develops across the three scenarios. The interest rate would be slightly higher in each case. As the higher leverage goes up, the interest rate is going to tick up a little bit. And of course, a higher rate on a higher loan size is going to make a monthly payment that goes up. But in each case, it's just a couple $100 in each stage. So let's see how that will impact the return on investment and the bottom line profits. I am going to use DealCheck, which is a highly recommended software for evaluating properties in this manner. Now I am in DealCheck. I am in the compare property feature that is available on all plans. We are having the exact same property in each case, so everything about the property is identical. We are just talking about a different financing scenario. So again, from left to right, we have a $30,000 down payment, a 15, and a 0. The purchase costs are going to remain the same. Now, a higher loan amount might have a little bit of an uptick in the purchase cost, but for simplicity, we'll keep this the same. It does not materially affect the conclusion. So here is an important point. You see the total cash needed ranging from $37,500 with the down payment and cost all the way down to $7,500 in the case of no down payment. So the financing as shown here with the rate changes I just mentioned, that calculates out to a slightly higher holding cost in each month. As you can see, it's a few $100s more because in the 4-month period, you're about $1,000 more in total, $200 to $250 a month more in those interest payments. Let's come down to when we would eventually sell this flip project. We're going to have the exact same selling costs. We're going to have the exact same sales proceeds off the 280 value. The loan repayments, of course, will be variable based on the original loan amount. And at the end of the day, we have profits here. Let's focus on the total pre-tax profit here. In the 20% down case, we have a $47,000 profit, and this is decreasing $46,000 down to $45,000. So this is going to be reflected in the returns as well. 100% return is phenomenal in the high down payment case, all the way over to 254% in the low or no down payment case. So you can see that the profits are almost identical, $45,000 to $47,000, but the invested cash is way, way different. In case number one here, you've taken $37,500 and added and gotten back $47,300, which is fantastic. But just compare that to the no down payment of investing only $7,500 and getting almost all of that back. So indeed, your costs are a couple thousand higher, but look how much cash you've left in your pocket. That's $30,000 that could be invested in one or two similar projects, or perhaps just kept in your savings or investments for other purposes. So you can see how powerful just a little bit extra leverage is. And any time you would get involved in analyzing the extra cost, you can see it's totally swamped by the return on investment. Now, of course, leverage has to be used responsibly. It's not good to over leverage yourself, but at the same time, if you carefully use leverage and are able to execute your rehab projects well, you can see what the higher levels of financing can do. So based on getting more experience, you can move to the right of this, and then on certain programs, 100% may be available in some cases. So I would definitely consider Looking at the higher leverage case, this is not apples to apples. You will pay a little bit more, but look at the power you can have to scale your investment. So to conclude the lesson, I put those numbers back on the screen here so you can see it a little more clearly. In the first scenario, we've invested 37,500. We have holding costs of about 8,300, and we have returned back 47,000. So roughly 46 going in, 47 coming back out. That's 103%. Scenario number two, roughly 32,000 going in, 46 coming back. And in scenario number three, 17,000 or 18,000 in costs, including your holding cost invested for 45,000 coming back. So you've actually increased your return by 2.5 times. So this increase in cost is pretty minor compared to how the return goes. You're getting only $2,000 less of a profit, but you've invested $30,000 less on the front end. So again, careful use of leverage is critical. You don't want to overdo it, but at the same time, using this to your strategic advantage is a wise idea. So some investors will get hung up on the fact that the higher leverage deals do cost a little more in interest, but in the bigger picture, you are able to scale. If you only have enough cash for this 20% down deal, you're stuck until you save up more. But if you leverage strategically, you're going to be able to do multiple deals at once, grow faster, and build more wealth. So leverage does indeed cost more, but ROI isn't just about the percentage, even though it's very impressive here. In any case, it's about what you can do with the capital you keep, which means here one or two additional projects at the same time. So smart investors don't just look at cost. Of course, that's important, but they're also going to look at opportunities. The best opportunities come to those who know how to use leverage wisely.